G'day guys, Steve with Broken Sprocket. In this video I'm going to be changing the diff oil in my Mighty Hilux. Now, differentials are often forgotten or just plain neglected in many motor vehicles, and it can cost you thousands of dollars in repairs. And it's quite an easy thing just to keep the maintenance up, change the oil in your diffs. Around every 30 to 40,000 Ks I change the diff oil in my vehicles, and it keeps them going well, and I've never had any issues with any of my diffs. So it's a very simple, quick and easy job, and anyone after watching this video should be able to change their own diff oil and maintain their differentials. So let's get started. Okay, now that I've got the car secured on some jack stands to make it nice and stable and give me a little bit of extra room to get underneath the vehicle, you only need a couple of tools. In my case, I only need a 24mm socket on the end of a ratchet to crack the nuts. You need the correct oil to replace the old oil with, that's within the recommendations of your particular vehicle. And this particular vehicle also has a limited slip diff, so the oil must comply to the limited slip diff and be suitable for a limited slip diff. You will need a tray to catch the old oil. And you'll also need some kind of a pump or something like that to get the new oil into the diff. This is just a cheap little hand pump, and it works quite well to get the oil back into the diff. Okay, now that we're under the vehicle, the first thing you'll notice is this round section of diff, and that is where your fill up plug is and also where your drain plug is. Now you need to drain the oil out, so obviously you take the oil out of the bottom here through this drain plug. But first thing you want to try first is to take off this fill plug, because if you have a problem taking off this fill plug and you've already drained the oil, you'll never get the oil back into the diff. So don't drain the oil until you make sure you can remove this plug. So at least if you can't remove this plug, you can come up with a solution, order a new plug and come up with a solution to remove the old one before you remove the oil. Otherwise you'll be grounded, you won't be able to go anywhere, and you'll be stuck here with a problem. So first things first, crack this nut off. Now that I have this nut off, you can easily refill the diff, so you can go ahead now and take the bottom bolt or nut off and remove the oil from the diff. Firstly, place your tray underneath the diff, and that will catch the oil from underneath the diff. Now your oil is coming out. You'll also see on the drain plug it has a magnet, and there's a very fine film where it catches any bits of grit or metal shavings or anything like that. But this is pretty much what you would normally find, just a very slight film of, I don't know, little bits of steel. Okay, you can see the oil is still draining out of the differential. With this one, with the magnet, just get a nice clean rag and give it a little bit of a wipe and clean off any of the debris that may be here from the little bit of magnet that it catches any stuff. When you finish cleaning it and the oil is finished draining, simply put this plug back up and tighten it. Now, I've heard of these diffs need replacing 200,000 kilometers, 250,000 kilometers, many people have said. This diff here, my vehicle has done over 415,000 kilometers. It's also done a lot of off-road work and all of these types of things, and my diff has never had an issue. And I believe it's because of the maintenance that I do to the diff. I change the diff oil every 30,000 kilometers, keeping it nice and fresh, so it never gets water in it that stays in for any periods of time if you were to go through a river crossing or any of these types of things. And it's always good, fresh, clean oil in the differential. The magnet picks up any tiny bit of debris or anything inside the diff, and I believe that that's the reason why this diff here is still going strong after 415,000 kilometers. Okay, that's pretty much drained now, so just put the plug back in, tighten it back up. Okay, now that that's done, it's a simple job of putting a little hand pump in here, putting the hose into the diff, and just pump away. Now just keep on pumping away, and when the oil starts to come out of here, that means it's full, because that's your fill level here. So the diff oil would be sitting at somewhere around this level throughout your diff, here down, and this bit here will be air. So you fill it up, and when it starts to come out here, that tells you the correct amount of oil is in the diff, and that's it, it's full. Okay, I'm full. You can see that that's coming out quite good now, so that means that's full. Just give it a bit of a wipe, and you can see that it comes out, so we're full. If you're not quite sure, you can also dip your finger in there, and there's oil right to the edge. So this one's full. Time to put the cap back on. So that's it, guys. That's how easy it is to change your oil in your differential. Quick and easy job. There's no excuse why you can't do this by yourself at home, and make sure you don't have expensive differential repairs. So if you like this kind of thing, consider subscribing, and you can also follow Broken Sprocket on Instagram. Hope to see you in the next video.